Hello everyone, I am Coach Schultz. I will be teaching biology here this year once again. I've been doing this profession of teaching and educating young students for over 2 decades now. Love what I do, love interacting with the kids, and that's what makes me come back every year, makes me come back every day. Some days you might see me like this, or maybe like this, or could even be wearing this. But the reality of it, this is me. I've been teaching for over 2 decades now in the sciences, have taught all sciences, and generally stay with biology, love the interaction of everything around us in the world. And we're going to take a nice trip through that this year, looking at a lot of different things, starting with the cell all the way to large organisms. So why don't we take a quick trip outside and let's look at some of the things we're going to discuss this year. So we're going to look at a lot of different organisms this year and how they interact with each other, how they interact with their own species. For instance, this pond here is an oasis of organisms. It's not just fish in there. There's single-celled organisms that live in there. There's larger organisms like that moss, those grasses, not just fish. And for sure, we cannot forget about plants. We don't always think of plants because they're just here. But for instance, this one rose bush right here, in the spring, he will put on roses as they normally do. And we'll learn what those flowers are and what they're used for. The funny thing about this one rose bush, it puts on 5 different colors. Why? We'll talk about that when we get to plants. Look at plants, such as this field of grass right here. Think grass, not big a deal, but there are millions of organisms right here in this one little pasture. Not to mention these huge pecan trees. Plants, simple we think. Not so simple when we look at the size and mass of them. We're even going to take a look at organisms such as this spider here. I got my zoom on because you know what? These guys freak me out. And of course, we can't forget about our loving pals, the moo cows. And all their various traits. Notice not a one of these is the same. Different traits, different organisms. We're going to talk about that. And we're back. Pretty much what you see is what you get with me. I like to bring in things from the real world into my classroom. As I showed you before with cattle, I raise cattle. I use a lot of that information in class, especially when we get to genetics and breeding for certain traits and things like that. We will discuss some things about that in the classroom. Plants, flowers, like you saw the rose bushes, those are something that I have a lot of experience with. I like to bring that in. I also, before I was a teacher, I worked in a research lab at the Texas A&M Vet School. I was the head of the lab, and so I like to bring some of that into the classroom just to give the students the real world applications of biology, because what is it? It's the study of life. That is real. That is the world. Everything here is alive. Things that we come in contact with. So glad to have you. Hope that, this year works its way out and we have a great year and we can all get back in the classroom, so we can see each other and work more hand in hand with your child. And that's where we want to be. And we're pushing towards that as a nation and working to get what we can out of this. Our classes are very rigorous. We like to pride ourselves, and our students are going to know their material when they walk out of biology and going to have that material when they go to college. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything, feel free to contact me. You can email me. I'm generally pretty good about getting back to emails in a very timely manner. If you email me after 9 o'clock at night, you're not going to get a response till the next day. It's just, that time I'm gearing down, ready for bed, recharging the batteries so I can come do it again. But I will get back to you, as soon as possible. Please send me any questions you have. In this time, no question's a dumb question. We need to make sure everybody's on the same page. So once again, welcome to biology, and let's go have some fun.